Hello, and I'd like to welcome you all once again to the old schoolhouse here in the village of Butterstone, uh, in Perthshire in Scotland, for this our 59th real live concert. I keep laughing every time I say that because the numbers just get bigger and bigger, and we're just one away from 60 now. That's incredible. Anyway, I'd like to welcome you all here on this cold November night. First of all, I'd like to thank all the folks that bought tickets for the last weekend's ticketed show, and I hope you all enjoyed my wee Australian videos. I've also got to thank all the wonderful people who have. This would have normally been our festival weekend, our Perthshire Amber Festival weekend. And during every festival, my mother and a few of her friends have all usually got together and have this thing we call the Big Knit, where people arrive and they get given needles and they knit a square and they make a little blanket, or they knit a hat, or they donate a hat. And we usually sell them at the festival and raise some money for a wonderful charity. The Serenians are called in Edinburgh, who look after well, they're complicated, but they look after kind of homeless people, severely homeless people. Anyway, but we thought because we couldn't do the festival this year, we would still have the Big Knit. And my mum's been knitting like mad, and all the ladies that usually go to the Big Knit have been sending in their hats and things like that. And so I have to thank all the folk that have donated and bought hats and bought wee characters. And I think we're up to about £2,100, which we've raised for the charity, which is incredible. In this crazy kind of time, charities like the Serenians really struggle, So it's thanks for all of that. And I'm going to talk a wee bit more about it. I've got a couple of samples I'm going to show you later on. But anyway. It's getting cold now, and this is a big room, and this is the old village school that I went to. It's a one-room village school, and I went to school here. My dad went to school here in the 1930s, and it doesn't have we have heating here, but it's not fantastic. So I have a big wood-burning stove, which I'll probably have to start using for the next lot of shows, try and keep this place warm. So if my fingers are a wee bit cold, but anyway, I thought I would start off. I'm just kind of picking songs now out of the hat, randomly out of my kind of catalogue of songs for these wee shows. So I thought I would do this, and this is a wee song. I grew up in kind of rural Perthshire, and we lived here for a while. And then my sister and my mum and dad, we moved about 2 or 3 miles over to a place called Snago, and it was real rural, And in this, we spent a lot of time out in the fields helping the farmers bring in their crops, lifting tatties and picking berries and things. And so we spent a lot of time with like really rural people. And people who hadn't been to university, people who hadn't, who didn't have, just worked on the land. But they had great kind of simple rural wisdom. And I realised that these are the people that build the stepping stones that you walk on the rest of your life. The amazing old characters and people that would look after us when we were young and kind of encourage us and tell us to go out into the world. And brilliant. So this is for my wee sister, who will probably be watching from Perth. We'll try it with the cold fingers and see how we get on. It's called Stepping Stones. So much time has gone since we worked out in these open fields, with the hopes of generations pulled around us, and the strength revealed. And so much has been done since we ran around the Snago woods, never knowing where our gentle lights might lead us, or if indeed they could. Oh, but we do not stand alone. I know we stand with all the others out in the great unknown. I know we stand upon their stepping stones. And sure and simple souls guarded round us as we worldly grew, with nothing greater than what working days had shown them. They gave us all they knew, and though their dreams were small, oh, their true and rural hearts were strong. With a smile it burns from somewhere distant. They helped us all along. Oh, but we do not stand alone. I know we stand with all the others out in the deep unknown. I know we stand upon their stepping stones. And in these silent hours, when reflection lays our journey down, and we think on all departed conversations, it's such an earthy sound. Oh, but we do not stand alone. I know we stand with all the others out in the deep unknown. I know we stand with all the others out in the deep unknown. I know we stand with all the others out in the deep unknown. I know we stand upon their stepping stones. And thank you very much. And that's my wee song, Stepping Stones, reflecting on me and my sister growing up and being surrounded by these wonderful rural characters that they give us a sense of things simple and oh, my guitar's stuck here. Excuse me. Yeah, simple and meaningful, you know, and that's the truth. You know, if you don't have a lot, you focus in on the little things, and the little things are really what count. And so I was going to show you a little bit of. I've got a couple of things here. This is a wee example of the big knit. This is the wee big knit blanket, which is sold, by the way, and it's going on. I think it's going to America, this wee blanket. But each one of these squares was knitted by somebody from the festival, which is brilliant. And also my mother. My mother, who lives 2 or 3 miles away, she's down in Dunga. She's 84, and she did a lot of knitting and knitted a lot of wee things that have gone. And she's so excited that there's been such a response. And I've got a couple of wee characters here that somebody sent in that are still available. This is the kind of thing. These are a couple of wee owls. I don't know who. Maybe the person's watching who made these, but these are still available if anybody wants to kind of put a wee donation in for them. And It's been a brilliant thing, and it was fascinating during the festival to watch people who had never knitted before grabbing a set of needles and a ball of wool and kind of knitting a square. Then my mother would have the job of putting it all together. My mother and a couple of friends put it together, and of course there was big squares, wee squares, and they were supposed to all be the same size, but they never ever worked out that way. Anyway, yeah. So thanks again to all the folk. And we're missing all our pals this weekend because normally our festival is a great social occasion, and hopefully we'll manage to get back to it next year. But anyway, I thought I would do this wee song, which is it's a song I never really sing at my shows, and it's kind of I wrote it for a kind of impatient friend who we'll try it and see how we got on anyway. And, Mr. Tattyface says he's got some good notes for the middle of this, so you good? Okay. They've all got their hats. Actually, they didn't wear them tonight, but they've all made their wee donations. Restless fool, can't you wait a minute longer? Oh, restless fool, can't you wait until you're stronger? For there's things that you don't know about harvesting the field. And there's things that you don't know, and without a little time they may never be revealed. Oh, restless fool, don't leave them all behind you. Oh, restless fool, you'll disappear, they'll never find you. For there's things that you don't know of how the lady likes to dance. And there's things that you don't know, and without a little help you may never find the chance. Restless fool, you don't hear a word I'm saying. Oh, restless fool, you can leave, but I am staying. For there's things that you don't know about this wild, elusive dream. And there's things that you don't know, and it's certain sure nothing is the way it seems. Oh, restless fool, restless fool. Thank you very much. That's my wee song, Restless Fool. And for those of you who've been following the last shows, you'll know that I saved a couple of hens from the side round the loch that have turned out to be cockerels, which are, the cockerels. And I discovered that one morning when I went round. I thought they were hens, and I thought I'll get nice brown eggs from them. Somebody had just dumped them round the loch. And I went round the side of the shed, and I heard this, and I went, oh no, they're cockerels. Anyway, there's one big one and one wee one. And it's been the wee one that's been crowing. But just yesterday, the big one started crowing. and he's got a different crow. So that now when I go around the shed, I get the wee one goes, and the big one goes, so I get this, and it's quite hilarious actually. The watching the two of them, they're like a comedy act. These two cockerels. Anyway, this is the point where I do a wee song where we can all join in the chorus with, and I picked this song, which I've done a lot, but you'll know the chorus quite well. I'm going to grab my wee tenor guitar, which is down here. Ever since these tatty faces started coming on stage with me, the space on this wee stage in the school is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Anyway, it's easy. It's a song I wrote about the sea. I spent a lot of time up on the island of Lewis, and I've been teaching. I was learning about the sea, and basically this is a song I wrote for a friend who was teaching me about the sea. And what's amazing with the Lewis, well, there was 2 or 3 guys. Which is amazing about the Lewis guys and the sea is that they've grown up with it, and their parents, their grandparents have been out on kind of boats with sails fishing, and so they know the sea really, really well. It's like part of them, and this wee song came from that experience of it's called Wild Atlantic Sun. And it's what I felt about a lot of these young the guys that were teaching me about the sea, because I had no idea that the sea was such a horrendously scary place. Really, growing up here in Perthshire, my connection to water are all these lochs that we live in the middle of, and they get a bit kind of ripply in the winter time when there's a bit of a storm, but not like the Atlantic, at all. So the chorus is easy. You sing, on the shoulders of the ocean, on the bare back of the sea, held in her eternal motion, someone to carry me. So it's on the shoulders of the ocean, on the bare back of the sea, held in her eternal motion, someone to carry me. And the song mentions Pabbymore, and Pabbymore was an island just off the coast, and when you went round the north end of the island, you suddenly hit the Atlantic, and Pabbymore just means big Pabby. I believe there was a little Pabby as well, a Pabby Beck, which is the little Pabby. So there was a big Pabby and little Pabby. Maybe we should do the chorus a couple of times before we do the song. Bass drum going. Okay. No, we'll not do the chorus first because I'm confident that you all know it. When first he rounded sing, we'll do it again, so that I know that you've got it. Here we go. On the shoulders of the ocean, on the bareback of the sea, held in her eternal motion, someone to carry me. Maybe we'll do it one more time and then you'll have it nailed. Okay, here we go. On the shoulders of the ocean, on the bareback of the sea, held in her eternal motion, someone to carry me. Now the waves roll dark round Gallen Head, and the wind has nowhere left to turn, and the broken rocks the sea will bleed, while Atlantic sun and there she sleeps, and there she roars, and in a moment surging foul becomes. It's a force to steal a sailor's life, while Atlantic sun, here we go, make a bit of noise, on the shoulders of the ocean, on the bareback of the sea, held in her eternal motion, someone to carry me. This is where you sing it on your own. Go on the shoulders of the ocean. Beautiful. Brilliant. Maybe we'll do it again with some 5-part harmony from the Tatty Faces. Here we go. On the shoulders when first he left the West Loch Road, in gentle calm the sunset fell, with wondered eyes he dreamed so still, while Atlantic sun. When first he rounded Pabbymore and met the mountain waves alone, there was fear till there was fear no more, while Atlantic sun, here we go, make a bit of noise everywhere, on the shoulders Wonderful singing. I'm getting the vibe here in Butterstone. I can feel it. I think it's just wonderful from this old school of people who've just joined us. You might not realise my relationship with this school. I mean, this was my recording studio. I made every record in this room here, and but I think it's fantastic to be singing these wee songs and knowing that people are, because we get people from all. We've been getting some amazing kind of comments, and people from Australia are watching, from America are watching, from England are watching, from Germany, Holland, from the Middle East are watching, and it's fantastic. And we're all singing a wee song about the island of Lewis all together, and that's my wee song, Pabi More, about the people up there, my friends' relationship with the sea, and the fantastic relationship they have with the sea. Anyway, we're getting close to the end of our wee half hour, and because this is the festival weekend, at our festival, we always finish with this wee song of mine, and and it was kind of the last song of the evening of the whole festival. So maybe there's a few festival goers who are watching this live stream who are maybe at some of the kind of finale concerts where we all sang this. And it'd be quite nice to kind of just have a wee mini Perthshire Amber Festival sing along. You can sing this. This song's also got a chorus, and it's quite sort of poignant at this point in time. I know that there's so many people now who are in lockdown all across the country, and it won't last forever. But I mean, it's hard and it's difficult, and we're not getting to see our families and our pals and that, So we've got to stay cheery, and this is also a wee point where I make a wee thanks to all the kind of the workers that are working in the NHS, all the care workers and things, because as it's been pretty bad this last couple of weeks, and I just can't imagine the stress that all you NHS and all the care workers and people that are out there are under at the moment. And so we're just sort of sending you good vibes from the old schoolhouse here, and hope that you can all stay cheery, and thank you for all the work that you're doing, and for everything that. This wee song has got an element of that, because one of the things that will get us all through these crazy times, if we all look after each other, and if we all sort of care for each other. And this song, the chorus of this is easy to sing. This love will carry me. I know this love will carry me. This love will carry. I'm going to have a wee mouthful of my dear friend Nigel along the road. It keeps supplying me with beautiful vintage port for my live shows, and I've got a wee tickle in my throat, so I thought I should have a wee sip of it. Actually, it's a good excuse, isn't it? I've got a wee tickle in my throat. Oh, my back. I've got a wee tickle in my throat. I'll just have a wee mouthful of my. Anyway, so and people have got until Sunday to buy the last of the other hats and things like that from our Serenians. Go and have a look at the Serenians website and just have a wee look at the wonderful work they're doing. And anyway, it's a thin line that leads us and keeps us all from shame. Dark clouds quickly gather along the way we came. There's fear out on the mountain, oh, and death out on the plains. There's heartbreak and heartache in the shadow of the flame. But this love will carry, this love will carry me. I know this love will carry me. That's what you sing, okay? This love will carry, this love will carry me. I know love will carry me. softest web will tangle, and the sweetest bloom will fall. And somewhere in the distance, will we try and catch it all? Success lasts for a moment, oh, and failure's always near. And you look down at your blistered hands as turns another year. But this love will carry, this love will carry me. I know this love will carry me. This love will carry, this love will carry me. I know this love will carry me. Play it, Mr. Tatty Face. Let's hear it for Mr. Tatty Face. Wasn't that fantastic? Wasn't that fantastic? I just think that was beautiful. So these days are golden, oh, they must not waste away. Our time is like that flower, oh, and soon it will decay. And though by storms we're weakened and uncertainty is sure, but like the coming of the dawn, it's ours forevermore. But this love will carry, this love will carry me. I know this love will carry me. Give it a noise. This love will carry, this love will carry me. This love will carry, this love will carry me. I know this love will carry me. Sing it on your own. Come on. This love will harmonies, please. This love will carry, this love will carry me. I know this love will carry me. Last time. This love will carry, this love will carry me. I know this love will carry me. This love will carry, this love will carry me. I know this love will carry me. Thank you very much, and that's my wee song, This Love Will Carry Me, for a wee positive song in these difficult times. And that brings us to the end of this week's wee live broadcast. And next week is another free one. It's going to be this number 60 next week, which is a wee bit of a kind of... but that's a big number to get to, so I'm going to have to think up something kind of... unusual for it. But anyway, thanks for joining us. Hope you're having a nice night in front of the fire with a wee glass of wine, and I'll see you next weekend. You all look after each other, take care, and thanks again to all the knitters and and all the ticket buyers and all the contributors. And we'll see you next weekend. Bye bye now. Akaba.